Hello once again. Welcome back to another Haphazard Universe production. I'm your host, Dr. Lance Reynard. I'm not actually a medical professional, but I play one on YouTube. Alright, just wanted to let you know, just because I look like a gangster, I'm not a gangster. I just play one on YouTube. And I wanted to show you a 3-card Monte. So I'll lose the accent and show you how a 3-card Monte works. Essentially, just take any card, put it on the bottom. You've got 3 cards right here. The bottom card you can see is the 9 of hearts. Now this card that I put my finger on is called the top card, but it's really the 9 of hearts. And the one that I have in the middle of these 3 is, of course, the 9 of hearts. And so 3 cards, I just showed you 3 cards with the bottom card as the 9 of hearts. And the bottom card is the 9 of hearts. Now, if you look at the order of the cards, once again, I'll close them up, do this slowly, turn it over, put my finger on the top card. And without losing focus of anything, the top card is pulled from the deck, revealing the 9 of hearts. And then, of course, then we have the card that's here in the middle, being the 9 of hearts. And so that's how a 3-card Monte's done. I, once again, am not a magician, but I do play one on YouTube. I would like to say that I am not actually a historical narrator, but I play one on YouTube. This particular episode has a bit of slightly controversial information and some curious information dealing with star forts. The controversial information is that which people shun. Apparently, it is shunned on YouTube. I'm going to click into images here. Just forewarning. And we are dealing with this. Everything we do on YouTube or in our lives or anything that's tangible and left as tangible is part of our personal history. And in our history, we find that there are some times in our history that we can do something. We can do something. So in this episode, I will be talking about star forts, I'll be talking about bugs, and I will be talking about some of this and how this will be there until addendum and memorial, time immemorial, the end of time. And so, it'll be here until I look like this guy. At any rate, thanks for joining this curious production. I do have some, well, you'll see. I have a variety of issues and details that we need to cover incessantly and extremely. And it is within my realm, and these days we cover historical narratives. We have looked a lot at historical narratives in my productions, and I will and enjoy to continue to do so as well. I'm going to have to be downloading a lot of images and taking time to create and put things together. And once this particular video, I'm just going to have to wait. I'll be patient with details. I'd like to mention, if you want any of the items that I will be giving away on subscriber number 716, if you would like one of those, give me a number and I will create that number as yours. Otherwise, if I don't get numbers from people, I will just go through my listings and select from the listings who's going to get what and send it to them free of charge. And people say you shouldn't send things out free of charge. That just makes you look like a show, like you've got all kinds of money. Well, I don't have all kinds of money, and if I'm not actually a show, but I play one on YouTube. And so people's attitudes, I'm not going to be able to get over and be defensive about details. Screw all that. But I will let you know what's actually happening in my strange little universe and try to convey as best as possible. And if you notice, these particulates are broken down into particulates, but this is a bastion design, star fort bastion design. And apparently what that means is that it spreads out. If you look at the construction of this thing, it splays outwards. And the concept is that anchors in as the area vibrates. If you were to take this object and put it up on, I think experiments should be done in this way as well, were I to have the facilities, I would just, put one of these together, a small version in plaster possibly. That wouldn't be that tough. I could copy that. And then put it on dirt, vibrate the dirt, watch it sink in, and the curiosity of the electromagnetic situation that may occur in the future, in the near future, January 21st. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about with that electromagnetic situation, it is a curiosity. A video saying that the electromagnetics will lift from the earth, basically, and anything that's not nailed down will just float out. And because of the electromagnetics being released for a short period while the sun reverses its direction. And so that's it in a nutshell. No, it sounds a bit confusing, but it's really not that difficult to conceive as a possibility. Strange possibility. And then the reasons that these are built the way that they are built. With the bastion design spreading out the bottom, hooking itself into the land. And, it's an anchoring process, this bastion design. And a plan of the new fort at Pittsburgh. And another curiosity that I have is throughout the entire world upon which we live, the names of places, Pittsburgh, all right? Well, it's most likely of Pittsburgh, South Africa, Pittsburgh, South America, Pittsburgh, Africa, Pittsburgh. There's Pittsburghs everywhere. November 1759. Now here it has the latitude 40 and longitude 80. That is curious also. So why not pop into Google Earth, take a look at this. It's 40, 20, and 80. I like it. State of Salvador, 40, 80, Bonn, Germany. Well, that would be more likely to be the location of a star fort. So I'm just going to briefly pop into this 4080 location and see if we actually have a star fort here. It would be fascinating, Captain. I could put on the locations, places, and borders. Now, if there's anyone who lives there and I'm missing anything, you go ahead and give me a call. Here's my phone number. And let me know what? Okay, there's the stadium. So that's cool. Now we have a pavilion right here. And it is Godesberger Street. It's 4080. Huh. Let's see, what is this? It's got some really strange stuff going. Oh, it's a construction crane. It's an overhead crane. Is that what that? Yeah, that's what that is. That is odd. Telling ya, it's a crane. A crane, the crane. There. I don't know if you can see it there. It's kind of optically obscure, but it's kind of freaking me out anyway. So I'm having fun. Let's freak out on the Haphazard Universe channel. Now, this crane is well below any of the conversation that I was about to have, because from this position right here, if you were to take a handful of sugar and sprinkle it down upon the people, now, Lance, what are you talking about? Where are you going with a handful of sugar? Well, it helps the medicine go down, and that's a spoonful. It is a way of conveying information that may be obscure, may be a bit haphazard, but then again, that is my forte here in the YouTube universe. And in this universe, they have this, how do you say, oppressive nature, in whereas you speak improperly, you will be banned, banished, and otherwise censured. Look at the very, very strange makeup of Cologne. I know it's cologne, but I bet it smells great. And what I'm looking at is the road, the actual layout of this. I'm not sure if you're getting the But you know, this is how I've always considered that the Roman Empire, or any empire for that matter, would build from the center and then slowly, create suburbs further and further out, and just continue to expand from the center on, outward. Anyway, the bastion designed star fort itself is built as it appears to anchor into the dirt. And so the concept, here's a bastion designed star fort. Speak of the devil. Yeah, and all of the symbolic replication. But the point is that you see how it spreads out on the edges, so when it vibrates, the dirt vibrates, it sinks down in to the dirt is the concept here, because we take a look at star forts. Now look at this, and this is the piece, right? However, when you look at one that's actually in the dirt, you just see this very top area, and that whole spreading out area is down below the dirt. But it wasn't originally, or was it? And yeah, this is kind of what the video's about here in a slight way. All right, I don't really see anything fantastic here with this 40 by 80. Let me go back to that image again. Yes, what I was doing in this point, there it is, right there, was looking for a star fort. I had a minor distraction, and as I was perusing the area, Peruvian areas of Denmark, of course, naturally, I ran across this heart. Let me get back here. I like that little heart. I think I heart you, so what am I so afraid of? That's a pretty cool looking little lake there. I haven't been hearted in forever. It's quite a lake. It's the Heart Lake, located near Belgium. And, right, just wanted to check out the old Heartanius action there, because that was pretty cool. And speaking of formations, I was looking for star forts, and if I were going to build a star fort, this would be a very likely location. And lo and behold, we doth find thine fortishness. And isn't it grand and fantastic? What is it now, a baseball stadium? We could just get in here and look at how strange. Okay, it's built up in sort of a 3D fashion. Excellent tray, as I say. Very nice indeed. If you get down into the particular details, that's interesting the way it is all put together and pieced in as photographs. This is just a fascinating star fort. I'm so glad that we got to it. Now let's think about 500 years ago, or 400, whenever this thing was built originally. Was it sitting up off the land, and has it sunken? To what degree? Was it a bastion fort? And if so, how far did these, I'm not sure what you'd call that part that splays out at the bottom. I don't know. But by the view of the drawings that we're looking at, you can get an essential dimension size from, like, okay, this tip right here, this point, to the far outer point would be, in my consideration, is that where that, that flow, that slope drops to there, or does it start here and drop down to underneath those cars? Now that's just a relative curiosity about the construction of this fantastically beautiful star fort, castle sort of a thing. Let's take a quick preview at the, I was going to just add the names and places. And, wow, I am not getting any of it. There it is. Wow. Okay, the bastion-style star fort is here. Of course, the ones that are sunken in, is it? I mean, it's a curiosity. It has to have been. It is actually a mind-boggling detail for me to pour something this extremely huge above ground and allow it to sink, or, it's still, wow. Then otherwise you're pouring underwater. How does that work? Now, I know cement will set underwater, but the thing is, no, none of this really is making much sense at all to me. So if somebody can make some actual sense of this, we all have our hypotheses. Narrden Once again, consider the overall massive size of this, and I am going to turn it here and let you consider for a moment by looking at Narrden, and I was incorrect about the last one. It wasn't Narrden. One of the things that I wanted to bring up was all of the dirt that is on top of these forts. Do you really think that after building the fort, somebody said, hey, I've got an idea, let's cover them with dirt, and then that way we can grow trees and grass? So this is another consideration of the curiosities that I've mentioned in the video this far, and I hadn't mentioned all of the dirt on top of everything is something to just wonder and consider. All right, thanks. Beautiful layout, but once again, you consider the size. I know this is blurry, but still, you consider the size of the people here and the amount of cement that it would take just to, I don't know, pour one of these blocks. Now, just for the sake of clarity, that was Palmanova that we were just looking at. Here's a image of Palmanova. The location of Palmanova is right up there at top of the Buddha, Italy. So if I run on over to Google Earth and break back into Italy, pardon the screen jump for good lad, no time to waste. And there we have Palmanova. And so just to clarify my mistake, and since we're here, let's just go ahead and take out the ruler and take a look in miles from one tip. Let's go to the outside tip of this area right here and just run this line over to a tip over here to see that apparently this is 1.1 mile. Okay, now to this outer tip here and to the outer tip over here, 1.15 miles. And so the consideration here in this is the overall size and whether or not it was a bastion design star fort. These are all curiosities. How all of this dirt got up on top of the fort, and is this a massive 1.5 mile by 1.5 mile star that has sunken down into the ground? And there are ways to confirm and or verify that, but it is just one of those curiosities. I wanted to clear up the names. Thanks. One little now then look at the overall situation and just go space aliens, because I mean, whoa, it's the easiest explanation is how many people would it have taken to pour this? You consider the size of an individual person. There's cars down here. There's a car. There's a person is like a speck compared to the size of this thing. And what? So how many people did it take? I mean, if we did this today, how long would it take? How many people would it take? How much material would it take? Wow, Mr. Wow. And so that's my wow section of the star forts. I was going to go into a bit more of a lot of the details, but the curiosity on who could have poured these massive monuments are just, okay, we did it. We did it. My ancestors did it. My Greek ancestors, my Italian, my Roman ancestors, and my Scotch-Irish ancestors. They all poured these things. That was their gig, was making these babies, because it took a lot of people and material. And once again, the consideration of the size of this piece, the pre-planning, the layout, and the construction of this overall piece, and then was it a bastion design, which really complicates the issue in my humble opinion. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go into the actual information that I would like to cover. Yeah, I will, but it's going to have to be pieced out particularly in diddle itsy bitsy pieces. All right, let's see if I can get that. Oh yeah, that doesn't exist. The computer does have a mind of its own. AI has been working and is working quite well. I was talking about these little pretty pictures up here in the blue area. And the reason that you go, why aren't you saying the words? Well, because that is how AI works, and then cuts you off for saying the wrong thing. Those who are behind it are not our political demons. The political demons have strings attached to them. Were the Phoenicians that cruel? Come on, as I mentioned, who wasn't? No. I'm hooked on you, and God, to see the timing. So, in this particular essay, we're talking about how the land hooks the material. The material is formed so that it settles more and more down and into the land. But was that their concern? Keeping things anchored into the dirt. I mean, the massive size of this. We've gone through Narrden before, and also Palmer, and it is why? How would you know this ahead of time unless the culture had been around long enough? Or you say, well, it's a defensive creation. It's a defensive construction to build this bastion design type fort. But not only this one, but I was probably talking about him. I'm hooked on talking. Actually, no, the hook and the Chinese finger puzzle. You there! Where's my Chinese finger puzzle? Cruelty of the Phoenicians to prisoners. I'm pretty sure everybody's been cruel to prisoners. Those darn Phoenicians are just worse, I guess. Right, we're talking about the electromagnetics in one video, and that this folder is holding a lot of these images in atmospheric electricity and how it works, and the vibrations that occur to sync these things. I mean, come on, crying out loud. I don't know why they're in there. Back to the issue of, wow, dude, it's a random folder. It's a haphazard universe. That's why they're in there. It had nothing to do with my pre-planning, which maybe I should do occasionally, and one of these guys do it. It's a cute little town design, and I'm pretty sure we know that is Palmea? Let's see here. Yeah, Palmea. But the issue and point is it going to happen? You know, in a lot of these videos, we talk about the construction, makeup, and what's been being hidden and, covered up in our place of existence. And why has it been covered up? Yeah, pretty much in my opinion, this demonic force, there was one demonic force that came in perfectly on the timing. Because he is hired by a huge bunch of creeps. These guys look pretty nice. Covered by angels. Well, geez, I wonder why we have that as a symbol of national defense. Right, so whether or not we're going to start floating up, and whoever is the deceptive quality behind our society, in our society we have certain details that I have been made aware of. I thought I would share with you. And this is where the strange stuff begins to come in. Isn't that a beautiful picture? I believe it is. And notice all of the pretty pictures up in the blue area. Now, in order for me to keep from being shunned, I'm going to have to use words like blue area and pretty pictures. But those pretty pictures coming from the blue area tend to fall down upon us like rain, or how do you say, pollen. There we go, pollen. And apparently let me just go ahead and get into the video here about my subscribers. I mean, I care about you as individuals, but the number, you know what, if I had 50 times or 100 times the subscribers, then I wouldn't be able to handle all these comments. So keep the comments down. No, actually, comment as much as thou shalt, and I will keep picking through them. Linda Perez puts in some curious and humorous information. I went to her channel, and found another. And going into Linda's videos, I believe it was, or was it playlists? Yeah, this one here, 49 views. Check her out, Dana Ashlie. Now I'm going to click on this and show just an image of it. But if you're familiar with some of these words that are about to show up, I'm not going to mirror this. It says right in the this info is more than you think. Show more. Information, no part of the original content may be uploaded. This individual here, right here, Dana Ashlie, I just ran across her through, and I hope she isn't injured. However, I do show some of her information. I don't mirror or, repeat back or play back her videos. I think it would be nice to. I think she's a very attractive, very intelligent individual. But thank you, Linda Perez, for turning me on. Dana Ashlie, and I'm going to put her link in my description. And a little bit of the buggy information that I'll be bringing up in this video hopefully won't erase. Every time I go into somebody else's video like this right here and then go back into my comments and then I put that section into my video production, the sound tends to disappear. I followed her and came up with this. Now it says that no part of this original content may be mirrored without permission, and anyone can send it out as is, and I don't really do that. However, if you're familiar with what you're seeing here in this type of facility, I will not play any of this video, but we'll put the link in my description so you can go in and take a look at it. Because basically what it's talking about are little creepy things that come down, embed themselves into your system, and transport and report information and details in a, futuristic way. All right, now I personally have a curiosity. If you have a message to send, why wouldn't you let people show your message? But it's a great message, and to keep from doing any mirroring at all, I will just say check out this video. It'll get you thinking. First 15 hours and 26 minutes of can't make it to the moon, but Mars is no problemo. And yeah, isn't that curious? And I'm not going to go off on that anymore. I think I've made my point quite clear in that respect. Now we're going to take a look at some of the comments of yesterday, 56 minutes ago. If you get a chance, this is from Aren't You Nate. Good to hear from you again, Aren't You Nate? I'm glad to be back, and thank you. If you get the chance, please give a glance at the Genius of Lance. Seriously, though, I love your play on words, and your creativity is fantastic. It's certainly a breath of fresh air amid so much of the excrement on the YouTube. Muchas gracias, Aren't You, Nate? It's fun. It's fun to be fun and pleasant and funny and enjoyable. And DN, always once again, a pressure to hear from you. Autumn comes in with Who's Drunk? And I put that I don't actually drink. I know I act like incessantly drunk, but that's just my behavior and medication, which I am absolutely constantly taking. Yeah, baby, no Batman clock, please. And I agree, Autumn. I wouldn't want that stupid thing. I just picked it up. Actually, it's kind of cool. There's a lot of people that really think it's neat, and there's a lot that don't. So what I'm going to do is get a variety of other items together that are really cool. You're going to be seeing that now. The paleontologist, archaeologist, and geologist, as I have mentioned in past videos, as a Phoenician that I am going to be interviewing, just got back today. And I may just use my phone as a camera and not worry about that. But Autumn Cardona, always a pleasure, Autumn, to hear from you. Thank you for your comments. And thanks, Tom. I am a character. I used to get paid for it. Maybe your clock will help make wake up a few sheeple. Not likely. I put another person who put out a video who glazed over that information, and he's got over 30,000 subscribers, whereas I went into the details of the locations, etc. And it's just a matter of, of numbers, and also what the AI is, where I'm being listed with the AI and the spiders that run Google. And of course backed up by individuals, by people. 88 Shinto, genuine laughter, Batman Elvis. I want to see more replay. Well, I had fun putting that together. It was about a 4-day. It just had so many gaps. And a lot of you were mentioned in the pieces that I dropped out of it. And I also brought up information about the relationships of cards and numbers that I dropped out of that because sound kept disappearing. Border Ruffian, always a pleasure. Good man, can't wait for the next episode. And that is it. Same bat time. I wish, and maybe I should just start doing it on like a live, so that you guys can come in and comment. We can talk about the issues like the ones I'm talking about today. And coming up next is Linda Perez. Let's have a big round of applause for Linda Perez. Okay, final comment. I was expecting a video like this. And, Linda has some fantastic, run over to her channel, and that's what I did. And it got me into all kinds of information and, as you were about to see, trouble. And that's part of the fun here in the haphazard universe is you guys get me into trouble. But I will read this. I wasn't expecting a video like this. I've never seen you behave this way. No offense. Mighty happy you are. And you're so creative and so funny, sweet and smart and handsome. No, I don't want to date. And, you may be humorous. That was a joke. But still true. The part about the remarkable things about you've got a great personality character. Wait until Jane. Jane, where are you, Jane? And, yeah, it's just fun. It's fun, and I'm finding the development of the personal issues. And also, like guys like Richie from Boston, I love that guy, and John Levi, I'm sure it's Levi, I keep mispronouncing that, but love those guys, Martin Leedkey and Barnabas Nagy, and of course our Christian friend from he's got such a long name, but always just debate somebody on the flat earth issue with that guy. I mean, yeah, it's just fun to come to know you people and to let you, to a degree, come to know myself. And didn't want to glaze over. Colorado UFOs has a great channel. He says check out my channel. I did check out Colorado UFO's channel, and just to pop in and be considerate, I liked it and I subscribed. And he is showing what's happening in his neck of the woods. He's if you look at the videos, he's only got 41 subscribers. I would say go ahead and check this guy out, listen to the information he has. And this one I'm just opening up right here and now, is a part, and notice how YouTube slaps this stuff on there. So if I mirror this in any way, maybe even now, this will show up on mine, even though I am sidestepping this issue, but I'm not in the same respect. So in the upcoming information that you see, I'll mention the bugs, and you'll get it, but I can't just openly state things at this particular juncture. And you just got a new follower. I'm subscribed. LM Joe. Good to hear from you. To your channel. Also love Roger. It's talking about Roger Dodger, the Mud Fossil Madness. And yeah, we're going to be pursuing and following some leads within the next day or two that I will be videoing and editing and putting together some questions that I have for this paleontologist, archaeologist named Peter that runs the Enchanted Rock Garden in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So thanks. Love found new things on Google Earth as well as near Madagascar called the Comoros Island. Looks like a dolphin. with huge eye. And yeah, that is fascinating. I'm going to get on there and take a look at that in this issue. Obviously, the eye rings. I saw giant mounds in the back of the islands. And this is great. So there's rings inside of it. I saw so the obvious eye with the rings inside of it. These things we can get onto Google Earth and survey, and calculate by how they look and what the possibilities are in petrification, mineralization, and fossilization. And so thank you, LM Joe, for your comments. Though there were giant mounds in the back of the island, but they actually look like giant barnacles, and that's what makes me think it was a dolphin broke in pieces. And so here is the Comoros Island, and I will now relieve us of the borderline places and roads information and zoom down in to take a quick and curious look at the dolphin. Now, first of all, I would like to back off a bit and look at the overall area. It's a little smoother and more flowing. What gets me is the clickety making me sickety. However, we are looking at the Comoros Islands, the dolphinish look of the piece, and interesting. That does have a very eyeballish look to it. I'm going to back off and zoom in again here. As they say. Let me just check quickly on, that'll come back in again. So I'm going to get in even a little closer and take a quick look at these layers. Oops. Get in a little closer and look at this a lot closer, you might say. Give it a little turn and consider the formation and the layers of formation, and also the distance, diameter, and depth, the 3Ds. Speaking of 3D, let's zoom back a little bit more. So weigh in, folks, on the dolphinish look of the Comoros Islands. There is a lot of curious landmark detail to consider. And then these markings are is that old roads or fields? Fascinating, Captain. Also found a petrified lung in my friend's yard. He was like, hell no. LOL, cool but strange, and that's what makes it interesting. I dig your findings. Thanks, LM Joe, and I do want to pursue the digging of and discovery of, basically here in Minnesota, and actually anywhere in the world, you can look down and take a quick look at what LM Joe is talking about here. Thank you for that comment. Earth Ascension Rising just came across your channel today. Been on YouTube since 2011 and only have 900 subs. The availability to buy subs and manipulate the data analytics is so disgusting, creating fictional illusions for the masses whom fall hook, line, and sinker for the manipulations. As one who sees through the mind of Maya, we are larger in numbers than the zombies realize. Most just don't say anything and refuse to participate in the illusion. Your content is pure of heart and soul. In my culture, we are taught to live by the 7 grandfather teachings: honesty, respect, courage, love, truth, wisdom, and humility, which also corresponds to the 7 chakras. All is connected. You are definitely walking with your path by these teachings, even though even though I am sure in this is the first you have heard of them. It's not the first time I've heard of them. Thank you, Earth Ascension Rising. Being authentic is a way of life. Thank you very much. for your insights and authenticity, sending many blessings. And in return, I do as well. Earth Ascension Rising. I do, and we do what we can, when we can, for whom we decide necessary. And thanks for all the new subs, and thanks for these comments. Thomas Beasy, always a pleasure to get your appreciation. And Dennis Brahman, guys, check out each other's channels when you get a chance. And I've seen some that I would prefer or like to check out. Vitaly Goji, I have gotten great messages from. And could you stop jerking the map with your mouse? Yeah, I would like to. I try to get smooth motion, and as mentioned, I have a little bit of a control issue due to the fact that I'm running several programs. And so thank you. I will try to be a little more smooth in that. And so thank you for your comments, and now let's get back into the finality of this particular catastrophe. I have to apologize for the noises outside the window. Apparently they are reconstructing the entire block that I'm living on at this point in time. Well, once again, comment, like, and subscribe. I will be dropping in on all of your comments and, as time permits, showing all of the information. And so if there's anything in here that you consider someone else would enjoy seeing, please share. And have a great day. I'm going to have to become aloof due to the construction outside the window, but look forward to hearing from you again in our next haphazard production. So thanks for playing.